Bada boom, bada bing. How are you beautiful people doing? I'm trying to fix a lot of things today, so we're going to see how things look. First off, let me pull up you beautiful chat, you beautiful people. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be alive, and I'm excited for each and every one of you to join the stream now. There's probably nobody here right now. I'm probably talking to myself, and that's okay. Don't worry, we got a good stream planned. I want to talk to you guys about a few changes that we're making here at the Livebird. Boom, I think I got the chat pulled up. Bada boom, bada bing. Everybody say hi to your friend, your neighbor, your brother, your sister. Say hi to the person to the left. Say hi to the person to the right. I feel like I was in church, you know, when you're in church as a kid, and they say, what was it? Say grace, boom. You know what I mean. To the left. And everybody says hi to each other, and they shake their hands. Peace be with you, and also with you. That's it. That's it. Boom. How are you, beautiful people? Peace be with you and also with you. Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. Bada boom, bada bing, guys. The office starting to come together a little bit more. Are we even? Boom, boom, boom. I think we're even. Boom. I think we're even now. I think we're even. I think we're even. Bada boom, bada bing, guys. So we have why is the voice so high pitched? I don't know. Office is coming together. We are here early today. If you guys did not notice, we're testing a few times out. I'm gonna see. We're gonna test a few times out. We're gonna see what makes the most sense. I'm excited for a lot of things that are happening right now. Are you a big Harry Potter fan? No, no. I just have Harry Potter on my wall. Some reason TikTok sounds better for me. I don't know. Why does it sound better? You a Ron Weasley or Harry guy? I'm a Harry guy. Wait, that sounded. I like Harry Potter. Okay, guys. I do want to talk to you guys about. Oh wait, watch this. Watch this. So, like, it's a little Easter egg. If you know, you know. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. I built it in one night because I'm awesome. I don't know if I'm actually awesome. I do need help though. One thing that I wanted to consider, we're not going to do it right now, is I need to fill this right here. You can see that. But we'll move it over for Twitch so they that part of the wall. We have the Ferrari book. Ferrari book. Wall is bland. Now I gotta fix. Oh. We don't have an answer right now, but I don't know what to put there. I think it needs to be bright though. When are you gonna fix the echo? I'm going through and really debating on a rug. I've heard mixed review. I have Ruggable downstairs. I like Ruggable, but I've heard mixed reviews if it's gonna help my echo or if I should just invest in a crazy expensive rug. I'm not a rug fan, but I have to get a rug here because the echo is rough. I understand that. It's like, do I want to spend 3 to 6 grand on a rug that I don't like rugs in the first place versus just getting a Ruggable rug, like a plush Ruggable rug? Would that be enough? Don't get a rug, get a mat. I don't even know what that means. I'm not putting sound dampener panels because it just looks tacky. Sound panels look... Okay. Do I not have moderators today? My moderators are here early. Please tell me I eventually got a moderator. I mean, we're going to get there. We're going to be asking. You can definitely buy a rug cheaper than that. Depends on what kind of rug, though. I don't want to invest in a rug that isn't going to do the sound deadening. Looks like they dealt with it. Thank you. We put some decorative sound panels. I've heard the wooden panels. I don't know. Who cares about the echo? Makes it more authentic. I mean, the echo is frustrating for me. Like, I hear it all day. So it's a little, yeah, so it's a little annoying. I'm not opposed to the wood style ones, but it would be on that wall. And I just have to see what it looks like. We are putting a glass door over here. If anybody has any recommendations, I want to do a steel frame glass door. You guys know those, like, really nice. I want to put that right here. I don't know why you guys would have a recommendation for a person that can do a steel frame glass door. But what do I know? We did some cord management. Don't worry, we got a full stream planned. I do want to talk to you guys about what streams are going to look like moving forward. I am really excited about that. But I do want to walk you guys through and talk about what the streams are looking forward, because I think you guys are going to be, I think some of you will be happy and then some of you will be mad, because I could say that I'm negotiating 24/7, 7 days a week, and somehow somebody would be like, well, you didn't negotiate 26 hours in a day, or somebody else should be negotiating. Like, somebody would complain. Somebody would complain. Mr. Laundromat? Okay, I'll look at Mr. Laundromat. Okay. What's the story behind the Harry Potter piece? How long have you had it? Funny enough, I was renting out my basement. We had a second basement in Iowa, and it basically had everything we needed. And long story short, the person fell short on rent. And when they fell short on rent, I knew they were an artist, and I asked them to paint me something that I could put in my office at the time. It wasn't even in my office. It was in my den. I had a nerd den. So I had this, like, sitting room. It sounds like really weird, but it was not a big house, and it was only 1,800 square foot house. But you had your living room here, your kitchen here, and then right over here was like a sitting room right in front of the outdoor. And I had a couch there. I had a bunch of my nerd stuff there, and I was like, I really want a big piece for that wall. So made this, and yeah, I said it covered 2 months rent. Rent was only like $500, so I was happy with it. And realistically, I wasn't like I was trying to make money on the rent type of thing. So I think it was 2 months. It's been a while. So I've had it for 5, 6, 7 years. Do you like it? I love it. It's great. I asked in particular because I knew they sold a lot of that art to people, and I knew the asking price. Like, they were selling the art. But I wanted a big piece. What chat do you read most? I have them all combined. So TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch is all in one flow for me. So, like, I can see David just said something. Now Michael on TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. I'll give you guys my view. If you guys can all talk, just say words, and I'll say, like, which ones I see, and then you can understand. So I've got YouTube, TikTok, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, TikTok, Twitch, 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 TikTok, 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 Twitch, TikTok, 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 YYTTT. It's, see, like, it's combined. I can't even. I shouldn't have said you guys said words. Okay, guys. So I do want to jump onto a few different things today. First off, I want to talk to you guys about the stream. First off, one of the things that we are doing is we are going to be changing up some of the stream times. I want to just test it out, right? I want to make sure I have a lot of energy for you guys. I want to make sure I have a lot of excitement for you guys. And I want to make sure that these streams are impactful. So I'm going to just test some times to see what people like, what they don't. I will tell you the other thing is that the Discord channel, which I think we have about 1,000 people in it, is going to be much more active very, very quick. And if you want, like, your input on the stream, you need to be a part of the Discord, because I'll be asking the Discord every day. So I'm going to be testing a whole bunch of random streams at random times just to see how things work. Over this month, we are going to move to 4-day-a-week streams. I'll get into that in just a minute. But the general rule of thumb is when we're doing streams, we are going to have a theme of the day, right? It's not going to just be because honestly, what streams have been for a long time now is if I have something I want to talk about, I might talk about it, but it's just kind of, I'm throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. We are no longer doing that because it's more stressful than it is not. So we're going to have some organization. So today, one of the things that I've done, and I'm trying to come obviously more prepared too. So one of the things I prepared today is I want to talk about the car market. The car market's crashing. Don't worry, we'll get into it. But I want to do it a little bit differently because I want to talk about real delivered data. If you guys don't know, Delivered's now doing over 400 deals a month. That is crazy numbers. Super excited. We're hiring more people, but we're doing over 400 deals a month, meaning we have what I would say is the largest market supply of actually negotiated deals that we can verify in the US. Actual deals across the United States, actually hand negotiated. Like I said, I'd put our numbers against anybody. So I want to give you guys that data, right? I want to give you guys, at least on a monthly format, what we've done over the last 30 days so you can know what to expect for the next 30 if you're in the market. We might have an entire stream where it's just negotiating. And we have negotiating, we'll have cars picked, ready to go. It'll be great. We're going to have debate streams. You guys have really liked those. Those videos have done really well. I want to try to get one of those on Thursday. I'm going to try to prep those so we have people ready for them on Thursday. So if you're like, hey, I want to debate Tommy, I want to have a conversation. It's not gonna, I don't want to call them debates. I want to call them something different, but I want to have conversations with people. And if that series does well, I want to start doing, crazy as it sounds, in-person conversations, right? I want to have in-person conversations as well. And really get people in and really start diving into that. But that's not a today. That's going to be Thursday. We'll have that because I want people to challenge my opinion. I think we grow as people when you put multiple different parties in the same room to have discussion, right? I think you guys should hear what car dealerships say on their side. I think you guys should hear what the opposing side and what makes sense for the dealership, what's not. You guys can make your decision, right? And then we'll have other streams along the way, right? We're gonna have fun streams, cool streams, not streams, but I do want to talk about the car market, right? This is a video that I've really wanted to do for a really long time. I really want to talk about what we've seen over the last 30 days. So this is gonna turn into a YouTube video, as you guys know. And then I want to answer all your guys' questions. So we'll answer some questions. And at the very end, we might do some phone calls. This should be about a 3-hour stream. This video should not take that long. So we all good? Are we all good? Are we going to lock in? Are we going to lock? Oh, and then I'll talk about Chevy Dude because I know people want me to talk about Chevy Dude. I'll talk about Chevy Dude as well. Tommy's getting bored of negotiating. No, not at all. But we don't want the content to become stale on that side too as well. Okay. I'm going to do this. So just so you guys know, on this side here, I have my notes because I do need notes for this because it's going to be a lot of data. But I'm going to do my intro here. If you guys don't know, I do everything off the fly. I don't have a script for my intro, so we're going to wing it. 3, 2, 1. Have you ever wondered what a good deal on a car is? Sure, you've probably seen many experts go out there and talk about invoice pricing, holdback assistance, but you've always wondered what a good deal is. And I hate to say it, but people walk into a dealership, and by the time they're done, they're always wondering, did I get a good deal? Even though all the information told you you may have got a good deal. The problem isn't you, the problem is the information. The information you're getting is invoice, minus holdback, floor plan assistance, a lot of terms that you may not understand, but on top of it doesn't define what a good deal is. So here at Delivered, if you don't know, we negotiate more deals than arguably almost anybody in the country. We negotiate over 400 deals on a monthly basis. So we have a large pile of data. Now, we aren't just calling dealerships to say, what is your best price? We are negotiating dealerships back and forth, your hometown versus out of state. So we have the most accurate data of telling you what a good deal is. So this video is going to be something a little bit different. If you like it, I want you to let me know. But I want to talk about the market as a whole. I want to talk about the cars that are doing well, the inventory that's doing rough, and the cars, if you want the biggest discounts, what to go for. This is not going to be one particular brand. This is going to be every single car that we can think of that is worth talking about. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, but let's dive into it. Boom, intro, done. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so the first thing I do want to talk about on the car market is the most popular cars right now that we're going to get into have the least discounts, which that sounds like a shocker, but there's going to be some vehicles in here that we used to be able to get crazy discounts on. But due to inventory constraints right now, the discounts just aren't there right now. Finding some of these cars are going to be an accomplishment. And that's one of the biggest things that we've noticed here over the last 400 deals that we've done. Now, with Delivered, if you don't know, we don't just negotiate with one dealership. We negotiate with any given dealership or any given deal, anywhere between 5 to 15 dealerships. And one of our main goals is always to negotiate within a local market as well. And because we help dealerships or clients nationwide, we have one of the largest pools of data because of that. So let's go into 3 market backdrops that I have. So first off, if you weren't buying a car this year at all, and now you're in the car market this year, understand that tariffs did have an impact on the market. What I mean by that is that the average MSRP, the average price of the car, has rose year over year about $2,000. Now, this is one that I do want to put some blame on the manufacturers, because a lot of these people got refunds for these tariffs, but yet consumers got none of that money back. Now, there's some conversations about maybe some people paying that money back, but I'll see it when I believe it. I put a lot of blame on dealerships. This is one where I'm going to give a negative stamp to the manufacturers. If they got that money back, they should be trying to give that back to consumers in some way or another. That would make the most logical sense. But the average price is about $2,000 over year for the entire market. Treat that. Now, every year prices go up in cars, but the average markup for a car year over year is about $400. So we are seeing about a 4 to 5 times increased rate because of that. So, boo. Inventory is lopsided. I would say about 20% of the most popular vehicles are extremely hard to get, but the vehicles that have inventory are aplenty. So understand, the first thing you want to do when you're buying a car and negotiating a car deal, you want to see how the inventory looks, because that's going to determine your negotiation. This is one of the markets here where things have changed just a little bit, where instead of you trying really hard to get a good deal, sometimes it is more market dependent, and you need to know that market if you're going to go in to get a great deal on a car. And then finally, if you've been living under a rock over the last 6 months and you're like, okay, it's time for me to buy a car, and this is the first video I'm seeing, and I want to buy an EV, the $7,500 EV tax credit's gone, guys. Spoiler, shocker. Some manufacturers are still doing some lease credits on those, but that is just incentives from the manufacturer. Those are not actually lease credits. So if you're trying to get an EV credit, that's no longer. Okay, so what I want to do is go through the top 5 most wanted cars from Delivered and talk about these deals. So these are the top 5 most popular deals that people are paying us for Delivered. Who are paying us to negotiate? We'll go, do you guys want to go, should we go 1 to 5 or 5 to 1? 1 to 5, 1 to 5 to 1. 1 to 5, 5 to 1. I'm letting chat decide now. 5 to 1, okay. Number 5. The number 5 most common car that we are negotiating is a Lexus GX550. This is one of the most highly requested luxury SUVs that we are seeing in the market. One of the reasons being is people just can't get a hold of them. Now, the market is bare on this car. Lexus has come out and basically told their dealers that they are not getting many. Dealerships are actually starting to restrict the people on waiting list on these cars. So it's been a very hot commodity for us to negotiate. Realistically, MSRP is a great deal on this car, and you're probably only going to find it in your local market. That's changed over the last 3 or 4 months, where we were doing a lot of Lexus GX550 deals, but we could do them out of state. Most dealerships are restricting this to their local market. If you're in the market for a Lexus GX550, you have to understand you're probably going to have a pretty decent wait time. MSRP is considered a good deal. And if I were in your shoes, truthfully on this car, and this is the only one I'm going to say it on, I would really consider a Land Cruiser or a TX. TX you can get great deals on. Land Cruiser you can get great deals on. And I've said it from day one. You can find previous videos. I think the Land Cruiser is a better dollar for dollar value anyway. But realistically, the GX is one of the hardest cars to get in the inventory. But it is our 5th most requested car that we do. And we've done quite a few of them, even though clients are understanding the wait's longer. Number 4 is the Toyota Sienna. The Toyota's done a great job with this minivan. People love it to death. And even though it's not the most technologically advanced, it's not the most comfortable, it's not whatever it is, people love it. The reliability. People who are buying minivans want reliability, and they love the idea of the hybrid motor that just lasts, and they get the option for front wheel drive and all wheel drive. We are doing a lot of these. These cars are still hard to get, but discounts are there. The reason why I want to talk about the Sienna is a lot of people think that this car does not get discounts. Like you can pay $5,000 above MSRP in the Pacific Northwest. Realistically, the worst deal we did at Delivered this month over the last 30 days was $1,000 off MSRP. The best deal we did off was $4,320. The average discount off this car was 2.7K off MSRP. Now, when we talk about discounts like this, I want to be super clear. It depends on how particular you are. The person who got $4,000 off said, I want any Toyota Sienna Platinum you can find. There's your deal. Compared to the person that said, I want a heavy metal limited all-wheel drive with the macadamia interior. I will not take the rear entertainment package and X, Y, and Z. Oh, and it has to be in a 500-mile radius of me. Okay, like that's going to limit your discount. So one of the things you can do to increase your discount is increase your radius. With the Sienna, this is more true than any other car. If you're on the West Coast or the Pacific Northwest, you're probably not going to see these deals. You need to leave that area. Boom. The number 3 car on the list is the Toyota 4Runner. Now, the Toyota 4Runner is obviously TRD Pros you're going to get for $1,000 to MSRP, but every other vehicle you're getting $4,000 to $6,000 off. These vehicles are highly plentiful. I think a lot of people are moving towards this vehicle because the reliability is there. Doesn't matter if it's a gas, doesn't matter if it's a hybrid. The only 3 exceptions to this rule are really going to be a Trail Hunter. It is going to be a TRD Pro. And a Platinum a little bit. The Platinum is the highest trim. You can still get deals $2,000 to $4,000 off, but they're not the $4,000 to $6,000 off on the Platinum right now. But obviously, understand expanding your radius is going to be the best way to go. Plenty of inventory on this car. Great deals to be had. Definitely there to be there. Number 2 car. I think you guys are seeing a trend on what happens here. The number 2 car negotiated for us right now is a Toyota Camry. The sedan isn't dead. It blows my mind that so many manufacturers gave up on the sedan. There are so many people with gas prices rising moving to a hybrid sedan. And the Camry, 50 miles per gallon, beautiful car, looks great. The XSEs are awesome. And the deals are just insane. I think that's why a lot of people are going to them. Anywhere between $4,500 to $6,500 off. I've seen deals as high as $7,000, but that is not something that Delivered has negotiated. We've just seen from personal people. So the data that I can give you is the best deal we've done is $6,500 off. The worst deal that we did was $4,300 off a Camry. Front wheel drive, all wheel drive, does not matter. There are phenomenal deals to be had. If your market is struggling with the car, make sure you expand the radius. All-wheel drive does have a higher burden than all-wheel drive. You're probably not seeing $6,500 off a front-wheel drive. You'll see it on all-wheel drive. In the number 1 car, highly most requested car at Delivered that people are having us negotiate. Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess what you think it is? Because I think we all know it. Based on what we're seeing right now. The Toyota RAV4, fully redesigned. This is the most wanted, least discounted car in America. I wouldn't say the least discounted car in America, but this is one of the hardest cars to get in America right now. Now, rumors from what I've talked to with people at Toyota that worked at Toyota, not dealerships, but people at Toyota, is that manufacturing has been low due to, as they've said, global issues. Whatever they want to put it at. There's a lot of things. There is an oil crisis. There is obviously the gas prices. There is going to be a war going on. Whatever Toyota is saying, this is one of the cars that they have not been able to max up a production on. This car, I want to be super clear, discounts are brutal on this car. We have done deals. We've not taken a deal over MSRP. I'm proud of that. But a few months ago, I was discounting thousands of dollars off these cars. If you are looking for a very particular car, like a RAV4 Woodland with only one color, and you're not willing to go nationwide, you might be a good deal at MSRP with no dealer add-ons. I know that's crazy. That's the RAV4 market right now. I expect that to clean up here in the next probably next quarter. We're just not there yet. But realistically, discounts are going to vary between MSRP to $2,000 off. If it's a plug-in or it's a Woodland, they're not moving too much. There just isn't much inventory on these cars. I will say that we have reached out to more dealerships. We have one person, which is Ryan, our newest Toyota person, that's top 5 Toyota person in the country, that is just doing RAV4s. That is basically his full-time job right now. And finding dealers that'll give us there is no like weak link here. Again, if you get $1,000 to $1,500 off a RAV4, it's a phenomenal deal. Now, anytime we're talking about Toyotas, understand that dealers can add to the window sticker. So be a little careful. So those are the top 5 most wanted deals. Not saying those are the best deals, but those are the most popular ones that we're negotiating here. They're delivered with the most market data. But I know you guys wouldn't be watching this video. You guys wouldn't be watching me if we didn't talk about the best deals, right? What are just the largest darn discounts you've darn seen this side of the Mississippi, Tommy? I want to know, if I don't care about anything other than how much money off of MSRP you can save me, or you can save yourself, and I don't care. Now, if you don't want to watch this full segment, because I'm going to go through a lot of different vehicles and a lot of different ideas, I want you to first know, I'm going to spoiler, if you're looking for a domestic truck or SUV, discounts. If you want German luxury, discounts. That's the general rule of thumb. But I'm going to go through some vehicles. I'm going to talk about some discounts that we've gotten here. I want to talk about, now, I do want to point something out. Just because something's a large discount doesn't necessarily mean it's a great deal. You have to understand that this doesn't mean that you should just go buy these vehicles. Normally, the rule of thumb is that things are negotiated off highly because nobody's buying them. Like the RAV4, dealers are charging $5,000 above MSRP. That's a norm right now. We are getting that off plus getting it off MSRP. So when you see, for example, we did an F-150 XLT, $13,000 off in South Dakota. Crazy market, crazy deal. But we also did an F-150 at $9,000 and $9,500 off MSRP. So right now, the F-150, one of the most popular trucks in America, also one of the most discounted trucks in America. Second vehicle we have here is the Ford Expedition. We did $8,623 off an Expedition Platinum. For an Ford Explorer ST, $10,500 off. Ford Bronco Raptor, $9,217 off. Ford Bronco Badlands Sasquatch, $8,750. A GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X, $8,000 off. A Yukon XL Denali Reserve. Remember that video we just did recently where that dealer said that MSRP was a good deal? Well, I say $7,300 is a good deal off, or $6,900 off, which is on two sides. One is on the Midwest, the other one's on the East Coast. Now, if you're looking for a Ram Rebel, there's some dealers that are, I saw a dealer that was trying to charge above MSRP on a Rebel. Are we kidding me? Are you kidding me? $11,655 off, and then a Lincoln Navigator Reserve, $10,763 off. I will say, I think the Navigator is a better value than the Escalade right now. I said what I said. I just think it is. You can get great deals on it. You can't get great deals on the Escalade right now, and that's something that's hurting. Now, I do want to go into the German luxury market. German luxury. BMW X3. We did $8,111 off a BMW X3. Just a little old X3. If you're buying an X3, the deals are insane. People do not like the redesign. I see it. The BMW X5, $7,877 off, plus bigger discounts to be seen. The X5 deals are all over the place. You can get 10 to 13% off pretty consistently is what we're seeing on that car. A BMW X1 M Sport, $6,759 off. A BMW M340i, 9.4% off. Another BMW X5 for 13% off. But don't worry, BMW is not the only one giving away their cars. We got a Mercedes-Benz GLE 450, realistically getting $5,500 off MSRP. We got an E53 wagon AMG at $5,122 off. But it's not just Mercedes. We have one Audi deal that I want to bring up because a lot of people don't understand the deals you can get on Audis right now. But Audi RS3, $5,700 off MSRP, a Porsche Macan S at $5,650 off, and a Genesis GV70 at $6,753 off. Now remember, not every market has these deals. Our goal is always to get the deal for our clients as close to them as humanly possible, but this isn't always a guarantee. I can't even always guarantee these cars and these discounts. That's not the point. The idea behind it is I'm giving you the ceiling. Understand that is real deals. The numbers I am giving you right now, as we're going to keep going through this, are not make-believe fake numbers. These are deals that delivered, actually negotiated. And these are deals that you should be aiming for if you're negotiating a car deal as well. Now, understand, if you get $4,000 off an E53 because you're a little bit more particular, you still won, dude. Or dudette. It's okay. So, I want to leave you with a few different things. So, first off, stop thinking that the discount is a reward for you being a tough negotiator. Sometimes when we're negotiating a car deal, and I hate to say this because car dealerships are going to use this as leverage, so this is between me and you and no car dealerships. The bigger the discount doesn't always mean the better the negotiation. If you get $1,000 off a RAV4 versus getting $10,000 off a Rebel, the person who negotiated $1,000 off the RAV4 is probably doing the better negotiation than the person who got 10 grand off. That's what I mean by that. But you have to know the market, right? I'm going to answer a lot of questions here at the end of this. I'm going to try to go through and answer every deal that I can based on our actual market data. But understand, the bigger the discount doesn't always mean the better the negotiator. So when your Uncle Bob says, I bought that F-150 for 7 grand off, you bought that Japanese vehicle and you paid $500 over him, what are you doing? You should have let me negotiate. Like, just Uncle Bob, shh. A big discount is a signal that there's a lot of inventory here. But sometimes zero discount and getting the car is also a signal right now. The market will clean up right now. There's a lot of things happening in the global world, but that's okay. Realistically, or if there is a brand that I am steering towards right now, if I'm like, hey, Tommy, I like the idea of reliability, but I don't want to have to deal with all the nonsense, I would be steering towards Honda and Mazda right now. Mazdas were consistently getting 7 to 11% off MSRP. Hondas are the same way. So I don't normally recommend though, or at least anything over Toyota, but the market's rough right now. If you're looking at a RAV4, I might be considering the new CX-5 or the CR-V if you are looking for a better bang for your buck. But again, if you want to wait for it, that certainly makes sense as well. It's completely up to you. Trying to read inventory. Last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is everybody's fighting for inventory right now. That's okay. That does not mean you don't have leverage. Use competition. Shop multiple different dealers. That is going to be the best way to get a deal. If you're not tied to a particular brand, don't be afraid to go to Honda and Mazdas. But if you want Toyota, I get it. It's popular. Understand that you're going to have to expand your radius or expand your options. Now, I don't expect this to be a forever thing. This is probably going to last another month or so. Toyota is ramping up inventory. Just things move a little bit slower. If you guys like this type of content, I want you to like, follow, subscribe. I want you guys to see, do you guys want more market updates like this? I could give you guys all the fake data in the world, but I'm going to give you real data from here on out, going through and talking about what we're actually seeing from a business that is doing 400 car deals on a monthly basis. We are one of the largest people doing largest deals, and I'd like to say we're doing the best. So comment what you guys want to see next, and bada boom, bada bing. Peace out. Okay, boom. Okay, that's the video. What's our thoughts? What was our thoughts on that video? Was that good info? Like, genuine, be nice, or don't be nice. Be me, or be like if you saw that as a YouTube video, would you be like, oh, that's lame, I'm not watching that, or I'd watch that? Love it, like it, want more. Decent info, Graz. Okay, helpful, good info. Well, was it before or after rebates? Before rebates. Yeah, one cut. You're the man. I did do that with one cut. I thought it was 300 deals a month. Now it's 400. Correct. Where this is what happens. Tommy, I negotiate car deals. I want to hire you. I negotiate car deals. And then 2 people, I want to hire you. And then we just keep getting all these repeats and referrals. And people are like, oh, this is the best service ever. I like you. Tommy, please negotiate our car deals. Deliver. And then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And now we're here. We're probably we could do 500 this month. I don't know. It's called growing. I know you guys don't think that because I'm a short man. And by that, I'm 6'3". Returning to your new dog. I like it. Not much to do in post. I think we just need some graphics. You make me want to buy a new car. Just hire me. You don't have to do that, you funny people. We are still doing interviews right now. We are hiring. I would love to answer some of your guys' questions, though. I would love to answer your guys' questions on what kind of deals. So if there's like, hey, Tommy, you didn't mention, again, I didn't want to mention every vehicle. I just wanted to mention like the big dogs and the top 5 most requested. Maybe we make a second video on like, these are the other ones. But let's dive into it. What kind of deals what do you want to know? I do leases, we do purchases, absolutely. What is the market on Lexus? Give me more. I mean, Lexus is, if it's a GX, no, everything else is fine. Tacoma lease deals are insane. 10 to 14% off MSRP all day. Market on Teslas, if you pay MSRP, then you paid MSRP. Is 1K off of Woodland a good deal? Yeah, I consider that a good deal, as long as there's no markups or add-ons. Used RAV4 market. I mean, I wouldn't buy a used RAV4 right now. The market's so inflated. Subaru Crosstrek over 10% off MSRP. The Carnival is actually one of our largest discounted vehicles as well. We are seeing $3,000 to $5,000, or sorry, $2,500 to $4,000 off MSRP. Okay, sorry. We track all this data, so I'm pulling it all up here so I can get all these data. X7, 10 to 13% off MSRP. I'm just pulling recent sales. Boom, 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 boom. Honda CR-V hybrid discount, 7 to 12% off MSRP. Sorry, 7 to 11% off MSRP. Sportages are good deals, 3 to 5,000. We might actually negotiate a Sportage later in the stream. I think that's the thing. What is the market on the Corolla hatchback? We just did $3,000 to $4,000 off MSRP. Realistically, $2,000 to $4,000 off MSRP would be considered a good deal. Can you explain shipping a car if you buy out of state? So yeah. So one of the things that we do, so this is also like, I don't know where this rumor came out, but about 50% of our deals are local and about 50% of our deals are out of state. So like my goal always at Delivered, and then 100% of our deals always have a local option. Like one of my goals here at Delivered is always to, when you're hiring us, you're not hiring us to get you a particular vehicle. You're hiring us to get you the exact market on a car with real market data. That's really important because, you know, and I want to talk about this a little bit more at the end of the stream, but when we talk about like this conversation of, is Tommy a broker versus is Tommy a negotiator, and what the heck is the difference? Because some people are very confused. General rule of thumb is if there is a broker has had a conversation with a dealership, right? And they say, I'm selling this Porsche 911 for $4,000 off. If you have a buyer and you sell it for $2,000 off, you pocket the $2,000, but it's this exact one. This is the car right here, right? This is the car. This is this VIN, this make, this model. I'm giving you $4,000 off. If you sell it for whatever, that's fine. This is the broker model. So then they advertise, I've got $3,500 off a car. They pocket whatever they didn't take. That is how the broker model works. It's a very particular car, very particular model. With me, I say, I can help you buy a Ferrari. Realistically, a Ferrari, based on what you're looking for, is going to get you a $2,000 to $3,000 discount. Now, I've got to read this book to find what kind of Ferrari I can get you for the price, right? But realistically, I'm going to do the research and find this out. I'm not going to work with that one dealer. I'm going to work with 50 dealers if I have to get you the market and then let you know all of the options you have. Does that make more like the sense of the differences? It's like a 30-pound book. Does that make sense? That's the difference. We're not advertising a particular vehicle. So it's one of the reasons why when you hire us, the people are like, well, Tommy, why can't you tell me the exact deal you're gonna give? Because I don't have an exact deal. Because I've got to go do the work and the research. And I can't just tell, I can give you a general idea of what we negotiated in the past. But if you're like, hey, Tommy, I only want a blue one, and there's not a blue one out there, the market's gonna change, right? It's gonna change and things are gonna be different. Okay, I got it. What's the market on it? We just went through the market, Sienna, 2 to 4 grand off. Right now, we're only doing new. Mustang's 10% off, MSRP. Any idea how much I can negotiate off a new Mustang? I just said 10% off MSRP. Ascent, 10% off MSRP. Yes, sir. Is the height thing this bad on the camera? I didn't realize how bad it was on the camera. You guys are ridiculous. Colorado, 7 to 8% off MSRP is considered a good deal plus rebates. GMC Sierra, 10% off MSRP at least. You can get up to 13%. Can you get a G-Wagon new without the markup? Depends on what G-Wagon. Yes, on a G-Wagon. We did G-Wagon. A G63, I think you're going to get some type of markup on. Okay, let's go Mercedes-Benz. Going through all the vehicles here. MSRP is possible, yeah. I've got all the vehicles right here. I have a master list of all 400 vehicles right here. So what I'll do is rather than going off my data, I will go off this. Okay, so Land Cruiser. I'm gonna actually pull up. I'm not gonna go off my memory. Because I just said I was going to. Land Cruiser, 3,500, 4,180, 5 grand off. Chevy Suburban. I know these off the top of my head, but I just want to pull the data to make sure so you guys know, like, oh, he's accurate. Chevy Suburban, $5,300 off MSRP is the last one we negotiated. Yukon, we just did $7,300 off MSRP. Camry, we just went through that one. That was 4 to 6 grand off MSRP. I go through these numbers like through my sleep, so that's like one of the things. Like that's why I just have it all memorized. But somebody said Volvo. Let's see what we got for Volvo. I'm actually curious. Well, we don't negotiate a lot of Volvos, so I'm curious what Volvo. This list is no rhyme or reason. Other Lexus. I don't know if I have a Volvo. That's insane. I have to have done a Volvo. I just don't have it on this list. I don't have Volvo on the list. But I know we've done a few Volvos. A Palisade, Hyundai Palisade, calligraphy, hybrid, $1,200 off, $2,730 off a hybrid limited, $3,000 off a hybrid calligraphy, $5,280 off of Palisade hybrid gas. So like you can see it depend, and this is why we talk about, and this is the other thing that we don't talk about. When we talk about here delivered, a lot of people are like, oh, it's all about the discount. Sometimes it's not. Like this 1281 client, obviously it wasn't about the discount. Sometimes a client's like, hey, I just want to work with this dealer. I want the best deal it is. And we're still going to give them options, right? I'll be like, oh, your local dealer, the one you wanted to work with was 1281 off, but one out of state is 4 grand off. And they might be, for whatever reason they're picking, they're going to pick that 1281 off. And it's not my job to pick the deal for them. It's my job to give them the information and let them decide. Lexus IS, dude, we got a lot of Lexus deal. We do a lot of Lexus. Lexus is one of our biggest brands. But if we're looking for the Lexus IS, we just did $3,500 off 3 of them. Most Corvettes you can get 10% off. ZR1X is a pain. Don't hire me for a ZR1X right now. I have enough that I'm trying to find any car on. A BMW M5 Touring, technically, like getting a few grand off MSRP is a good deal. If you're getting an M5 normal, 10 to 12% off MSRP. We're still in the middle of interviews right now. We're still going through candidates, seeing who's a good fit. What's your average discount off a Lexus TX? $4,000 to $6,000 off MSRP. $4,000 to $5,000 off MSRP. I don't see a $6,000. $4,000 to $5,000. Ooh, a Toyota Tundra. $8,000 off MSRP, off an SR5. $10,000 off MSRP, off an SR5. Oh, $12,000 off a limited, plus rebates. This is fun. An F350. I just dropped something. Ford F. We got an F250, which we got an 802A Raptor. Jeez, we got $1,000 off a Raptor. What in the world are we doing? $7,295 off a Lariat Tremor. And like people also, one of the things that you guys haven't seen here is here at Delivered, I used to negotiate 80% of the car deals. We then changed that system because that obviously doesn't make any logical sense for a founder doing 400 deals a month to be able to, the math doesn't make sense. So we have an entire negotiation division of Delivered here. Their only job is to research and negotiate prices on cars that our clients need. They don't talk to clients. They don't do anything other than just call. Hey, Tom, hey, I need a RAV4. Here you go. RAV4, need these colors. Boom. Here's all the data. And then we have somebody else that goes through that and says, okay, boom, 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 boom. This is a good match for the client. Boom. Like that is how it works. Now, again, we're telling them what car they need. They're going to go find that car, but they don't have to worry about the client experience, which is one of the best things about Deliver now, because you have people that are just focused on getting the best possible deals and discounts and going out there and getting real data. They're not distracted by anything else. It was one of the biggest issues that Delivered had early on, even for the first 3 years, is we'd have our negotiator also be the client experience person. So like, it's really hard to balance that customer experience side. It's one of the reasons why car salesmen really struggle with their job, because they have to balance being a car salesman while also balancing like the customer experience, while also balancing like, I need to sell this car. It was the same thing that we started seeing hints of it at Delivered, and we immediately were like, we audited it, we shut it down to say we're going to separate these two. Now we have one person just fully designed for the experience and one person fully designed with the negotiation. They collaborate, work together, and it ends up getting crazier discounts and way happier clients. Our clients are ecstatic because of that. Also, when you tell them you got 100 views, but you don't even share the dealer's info. What? When did I tell somebody I got 100 views? People are weird. Can you do a deal in Aki way? Dude, I want one of those Aki sandwiches so bad. Dude, I would do something. I would fly. If Aki invited me right now, I would fly to New York tomorrow. I think he's in New York. I'd fly to New York tomorrow to be in that collab. So, I'm just hungry more. Have you ever done supercars? Yes. Sure. Do you work with people with bad credit? We mainly help people that have higher credit, tier 2 and above. I'm looking for a new Civic Si. That's a great question. Let's look at our Civic Si deals, because we're going to talk about, I know why you're asking that deal, but I'll pull the deal actual data that we have. $2,000 off, $2,500 off, $1,500 off, $1,000 off. Your head blocks the logo. Your head blocks the logo. You never buy Miatas. We get about 10% off Miatas. Tellurides, $1,200 off, $1,300 off, $1,000 off, $1,000 off, $1,500 off, $2,000 off, $1,750 off, $1,750. Okay. Oh, carnivals. You guys want carnivals? Okay. $2,500 off, $3,000 off, $3,000 off, $3,600 off, $3,800 off, $4,500 off, $4,675 off, and $4,850 off. I'm just going through all the discounts we've gotten, just so you guys can see. Civic Type R's are MSRP all day. Acura MDX is 10% or 10% off it all day. We've done a few Elantra Ns. We've gotten some really crazy deals on these Elantra Ns. Let me pull that one up, because I don't want to. We just pulled a deal. I don't know if this is going to be the norm for this market, so I want to be clear. But that was an Ioniq 5. The Ioniqs are much harder to get. The inventory has gone down dramatically. Elantra N, we did. No, it was just $3,000 off. Never mind, $3,000. I thought it was a bigger discount. What was the one I did a bigger discount on? 4Runner rated 1.2, $4,000 to $6,000 off. Oh, it was a TT5S Blackwing. We saved $5,000 off MSRP. That was what it was. Thank you for reminding me. It was the Blackwing. We got $5,000 off MSRP. That's one of the craziest deals we've negotiated in a while. No way, yes way. I don't think we're going to repeat that deal, but that was an insane, it was an order. Escalade V, getting one at MSRP would be considered a great deal. The market's still above MSRP on those, sadly. Just like a Raptor R, it's still 10K over on it is a good deal. Have you ever had a sales manager reach out? We had a lot of sales managers reach out for training. I used to offer it like for free and just be like, hey, if you need it, I'll do it. And I did a few of those just to like help. And then it just it's too much time. And for it being free doesn't make sense. And I'm so focused on delivered that we stopped doing it. But we did a few dealers where I went to the dealerships, talked to them about car buying because I wanted to improve it. But I just don't have. It's more about we understand that. So one thing that I understand, guys, is delivered, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more. Delivered is making more and more. I don't even call them enemies, but as we become bigger, we have a much bigger impact on the market than ever before. We are averaging right now 20 to 30 million views a month across all platforms. That is bonkers. Like people don't realize, people are like, oh, you have 600,000 followers or 200,000. Like our view count is insane across all platforms. Anywhere between 20 to 30 million, depending on the month. So like we are making an actual impact on this market. And I think people are getting a little nervous. The people who don't want things to change are getting a little nervous. People are wondering, people thought that this was kind of a fad and now they're realizing that this is a movement, right? My goal is to reinvent the way we buy cars. I'm going to talk to you guys the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And that's what we're going to do. And I think it's scaring some people. And we're starting to see it. We're starting to see it. How are we making an impact? First off, people are actually utilizing our information, like the information I'm giving today, as discounts that are actually hurting because people understand what an actual good deal is. They're not trusting things like invoice or holdback or trusting what the dealer, because before what happened, if I wanted to know what a good deal is on a car, I had to trust just dealership information. I have to know what invoice is. Then I have to trust that invoice is a good deal on the car because that's what the dealership owns it for. Now, if you worked at a dealership, you understand that invoice doesn't mean much of anything. Holdback assistance, floor plan, marketing money. If you're a GM, you understand the incentives that a manufacturer can give. If you hit certain stair-step programs, it goes above and beyond that. Very few people actually know what a good deal is. The only way to actually do that is to negotiate so many deals and actually test the market, right? So we're able to give that information out. We're able to start giving people the idea that these kind of services exist, right? People didn't realize, they thought they were on their own. But we're also just exposing the industry in a major way. We're calling out the bad actors by showing what they look like. People are seeing this behavior and realizing, oh, that's not normal. It's not normal for a dealership to say that the price is one thing or not give me normal pricing out the door. It's making an impact, for sure. We don't have a publicly accessible data sheet right now. We're going to go through the data. I'll answer it all, but we don't have anything publicly accessible right now. Yuzu editions are hard. Yuzu editions are still rough. There's not many of them left, but GR86s are $2 to $3 grand off MSRP. I hope you get 12% off a new Tacoma. Love it. Prius, 10% at least off MSRP. So you're against companies making a profit. I want to be super like clear, right? Let me explain this because I think like this no company is entitled to a profit. No company in America is. You have to earn that profit. And right now, the issue with the car dealership world is the price at invoice is then marked up at the dealership, and there is an extra middleman. And if you can look at basically any economist ever, if you add a middleman to the equation, the cost goes up to the consumer. That is not my opinion. That is studied on economic theory that goes back hundreds of years. So when you add a middleman, you're adding this. So we have this middleman that for sure is adding cost to the system. That is car dealerships. When we are adding that cost to the middle, and now there has to be a value to that, right? If I have a car dealership, at least I get really good service, right? Or at least I get my car faster, more efficiently, quicker. Or maybe it's because I can buy a car, whatever the answer is, whatever that value is for the consumer, that has to be a consumer because the consumer is now paying an inflated price. They know they're paying an inflated price and they have to be comfortable with that. The problem is right now, dealerships are offering little to no value because they're not answering the question of how do I offer more value to my consumers? Now they've said, how do I add more value? Oh, a lot of our customers are asking for tint. So let me just charge $500 for that. And then they also want theft protection and a warranty. So let me mark up. They're finding ways to add value that adds profit, not finding ways to add values to solve customers' problems. So you have this unnecessary burden onto the market. You don't have alternatives. So consumers aren't willing to pay your profit because you haven't earned it. So I'm 100% totally fine if a dealership wants to make $1 billion per car, as long as the consumer is actually getting a value that they see. But when we talk about the car dealership right now, we just had I forgot the report. I just named it. But basically 7% of people trust a car salesman. It is as low as people in Congress and telemarketers. 70% of people report that they do not enjoy the car buying process at all. The entire process needs to be torn out from the bottom up. It is an unnecessary middleman, and unfortunately, it is mandated by the government to exist. The only reason dealerships exist today is there's franchise laws protecting them. And if you got rid of those franchise laws tomorrow, they would struggle to survive. What's your opinion on Slate? I mean, I like Slate. I mean, I haven't driven one, so I can't really test the product itself. RAV4 hybrid, realistically, getting $500 off would be considered a good deal. And in the Bay Area, yeah, getting one at MSRP to $500 off is considered a good deal. Tundra Limiteds or Platinums, 10 to 13 grand off MSRP. Okay, so this is interesting. So Austin says, my question is, why would somebody pay for your service, right? We just talked about middlemen being an unnecessary burden on the system and that cost the consumer more. So when you add a middleman to a middleman's problem, that just adds more cost to the consumer. First off, correct. Using me is going to be more expensive than you negotiating your own car deal. I'm very upfront. This is not a money-saving service. But right now, dealerships have been so neglecting on the client experience and not answering, and the buying process is so miserable to millions of Americans that they, as long as they can get a good deal on the car and they don't have to deal with the dealership, they're willing to pay to avoid it. Now, we get great deals on our cars, but you could also just get that same deal if you negotiate it yourself. People don't want to spend the time and energy it takes to actually get a good deal. So they hire us, they pay $1,000 and they do it. Now, paying delivered $1,000 is $1,000 more expensive than you could negotiate a deal on your own. Because realistically, if you have, I give you all the information, I give you all the tools, you're willing to do it yourself. It's very similar to cooking your own dinner versus going out to eat. Some people enjoy going out to eat. Some people understand that, but there's no way going out to eat is ever cheaper than doing that. But it does save you time and energy to do other things. Do you shop all brands for customers? We'll do any car, but when a client hires us, we do research on one particular vehicle. So we'll do one on an Ioniq 5, and we'll do the market on that. We won't do like 7 vehicles for you to decide and then go from there, because that's 7 different research things. But that's why people hire us. It's a time, energy, and anxiety saving service. Currently working a deal with Ryan on the new RAV4. Ryan's phenomenal. Ryan is, if you guys don't know, Ryan was a top 5 Toyota, and our team's all awesome, but you just mentioned Ryan, so I'll bring Ryan up. Ryan was a top 5 Toyota car salesman in the country, not in the area, not this. He was top 5, and we recruited him after about a year of working. He's been on this stream before, recruited him to work here. He believed in the mission and understands the Toyota market inside and out, and it's been awesome. He's been an amazing tradition. He's helping the team grow. He is such an awesome resource, and we have somebody like Mike. Mike has been in with us for about over a year now. He's our Ford expert, right? They all negotiate everything, but like right now, our biggest thing is Toyota, and Brian's come in here to help us with that Toyota market because that was my expertise, right? Any discounts I can expect on a Bronco? For show, 10% off MSRP at least. GX550, getting one is an accomplishment right now, but MSRP is considered a good deal. How do you incorporate trade-ins into your service? So we negotiate every part of a deal: the price of the car, the trade, the add-ons, the accessories. There's also like what frustrates, and we're gonna talk about Chevy Dude. I made an entire video on it, which will be, I think it'll come out, Alyssa, is gonna come out Friday. I made an entire video on that, which we'll get into and talk about that, but I'll give you guys some sneak peeks. But general rule of thumb is I don't think anybody should talk about somebody's service unless they've actually gone through it. So like Chevy Dude is talking about my service, but doesn't even know enough about our business, has said some things about our business that isn't true, and hasn't ever gone through the experience himself. So because he hasn't done any of those things, he can't accurately say what we do or don't do. And I think, and again, I'm not going to invite Chevy Dude to use our service. Maybe before we would have, just to have him go through the experience. But I'm not in any world going to get into the piece that I paid him for anything. I don't want. I think Chevy Dude kind of put egg on his face, and he's realized it. But like, you can't really talk about somebody's service if you haven't gone through it and experienced it yourself. It's the same people talking about like Tesla, right? People talking about Tesla, like Tesla's so hard, like Tesla service times are so rough. Like some of them are, but realistically, it's not as bad as people say. Waiting for a car takes forever. That's not really true. The car market is crashing. Yeah, it's sad. If you and the dealer can lower prices on a new car, would the dealer then try to screw you on the trade? Yeah, correct. So like, again, I talk about this a lot so one of the things that I did, and you guys, if you guys want to see this video, if you guys don't know, I guess I'll touch on this right now because we can. Chevy Dude, which is I don't even want to say popular anymore because like nobody's watching him anymore. But he was in pre-2020 was the largest car salesman TikTok YouTuber on the market. He has like 500,000 YouTube followers or subscribers. He was a really big deal. He kind of fell off, but general rule of thumb, he's even making content for a really, really long time. He made a video attacking me. Now he's going to say that it's not attacking me. He just said that spending $1,000 on a service like that negotiates car deals is a waste of money, and you're insane because buying a car is easy, right? Which I think is crazy when you have a YouTube channel that says car buying doesn't have to suck, and training people for the last 10 years on how to buy a car, that all of a sudden it's super easy now to buy a car. Like, why did you make content for the last 10 years on how to buy a car if it's super easy to buy a car in the first place? So that's step one. There's a lot of pieces to it. But general rule of thumb is he kind of just tried to bash the product, but he did it in like the worst possible way because he said that it's so easy to buy a car, I'm going to show you. So then he just negotiates the deal and pays MSRP. Like he literally, like this is what happens. I'll give you guys the reaction so you guys want to watch the video. Hey, I would like to see if you guys have, I would like to have your number one best, most tenured car salesman there. Well, I'm not the most tenured, but I've been here for 5 years. That'll do. As long as you work really hard for me. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll work really hard for you. Mind games, manipulating him. He didn't hear that. Anyway, I'd like to know the price in your Civic Si. Well, I'll send that to you. You got a buyer. That was it. And then it was, hey, I'll give you $2,300 for your trade. And then he goes in and he says, actually, I'll only give you $2,000 for the trade. Will you take $2,150 for it? Yeah, I'll do it. We won. Like literally, he didn't negotiate anything at all. And what I think is interesting, and again, go watch the video on Friday, is he didn't ever show any of his proof that any of this happened. Like he just used his words. Like, I negotiated $100,000 off a Civic Si. You see this graphic I made right here? It's a weird like attack video. Oh yeah, and 99% of people are defending because it's just silly. As somebody who claims to be a car buying advocate, to go out and say like you can't have somebody else, like he makes it seem like he's the only one that could give advice on buying a car. But the last time he called somebody out, it was Car Edge on their AI tool, and then 2 weeks later, it went from the worst tool ever to the best tool ever, and had a promo code to use Chevy Dude. And I called that video out, but apparently he hasn't seen it. It's a weird, like, it's like a weird call out. I don't get it. he's been quoting, and part of it is that he's been quoting this lawyer guy that's gone out here, that said that what I do is illegal. I'm glad that everybody thinks that they understand the law, which is fine. You're allowed to give your own opinion. I'll tell you that we have a great legal team. It's not one lawyer, it's a team. And they have tested the legality of our business. And again, general rules of thumb is if I say, I have this exact lease deal on this exact car, and I'm advertising $4,000 off MSRP on this car if you hire me as your broker, that is what a broker does. What Tommy does is, hey, if you don't want to deal with the car buying, you can hire me. I'll go do the research, find the cars, call the dealerships we need. We don't rely on existing relationships. I don't even know what deal we'll get because it depends what car you get. We'll go through and do the research. We'll be on your behalf. And then once everything is agreed upon, you then step in, you then sign the paperwork and you sign the dotted line. Over here, I'll even deliver the car right to your house. You never have to talk to the dealership at all. Over here, we just handle the car buying process for you. Now, the reason why this side can be a little bit iffy is the dealership might say, I have this car, right? It's $4,000 off, but what you can sell it for whatever. So then this person might say, I'm selling you this car for $2,000 off. Okay, cool, a sign. And now you get $2,000 off. The broker then takes $2,000, pockets it in their own pocket, and then you're none the wiser, right? For us, we don't take any money from the dealership side. So because we don't take no money from the dealership side, it makes it so it's a pretty, you feel confident that the service is taking care of you. But the general rule of thumb for anybody that says my service is illegal and I need to be a dealer because I help people buy cars, what I would ask you, like generally, like, and I'd love to for anybody to make a video, is what harm does delivered do to the client? Like what am I, like what is the worst case scenario that I have, like worst case scenario? I don't get you a good deal. Like could that be the art? Like no, like dead serious. Like worst case is you hire me to negotiate a car deal and I don't get you a good deal. How is that any different than hiring a dealership to do the experience? And a dealership, a salesperson doesn't need a sales license to sell your car. In some states they do, but not all. But like that's the work. Or as some people have said, I'm just a Gmail account and I can disappear into oblivion. Guys, this is some people I know the car salesmen are going to be like, oh, he's tooting his own horn. I will tell you, popularity is real. Notoriety is real. It is the weirdest thing. So I'm still not used to it. I cannot go out and do normal things without getting recognized once. If I go to the grocery store, I am getting stopped, and maybe I'll film it on my Meta glasses one day so you guys can see. I will get stopped by somebody. You're the car buying guy. Like, I'm not disappearing into oblivion. When you're averaging 20 to 30 million views a month, like, people recognize you. Just, it is what it is. We were getting recognized in Japan constantly. And that was people visiting Japan. Just it happens, like, we've been along for a while. We've been here for a while. People recognize us. Like I can't disappear into oblivion. And guys, I love when people come up and talk to us and have a conversation. But what I'm saying is like, I can't disappear into oblivion. That doesn't exist. Like, I don't have the option to just disappear, delete my account, and act like I don't exist. People would find me so quickly. Does that make sense? So I would love for anybody who's, and again, what I love is that, like, we're trying to shut down services like mine, while the car dealership is the most complained and reported organization in the country by the FTC for unethical practices. So instead of just protecting consumers, like, anything that protects consumers would probably be bad, right? Like, we don't want to protect them, right? Nobody's actually trying to shut us down, but some people, like Chevy Dude said, what I do is illegal. Even though he doesn't understand, it's okay. Chevy Dude is not a lawyer. He doesn't even work in this space, and there's no case study to say that what we are doing is illegal. Just get a dealer's license, bro, but I'm not a dealer. Like let's just think this through. What part of me makes me a dealer? I help consumers negotiate deals against dealerships. I'm considered the dealership's worst enemy. How am I, like, in what world do you consider the guy negotiating with the dealership on the consumer's behalf a dealer? Like, it's just the, if you just do the litmus test or just do the logic test, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense that I would be a dealer, right? And again, brokers advertise specific inventory. And what I think is funny, like, is if you understand the broker model, you understand brokers rarely negotiate themselves. Like, the biggest brokers in the United States are ones that they just have preset pricing with the dealership. They know, and they're like, oh, okay, this is the price that I'm doing on Tundras right now. Okay, cool. This is the price I'm advertising to the world on Tundras. Like, that's it. They're not going out and calling people and saying, what kind of deal can you get? What kind of deal can you get? Or if they are, they're normally taking profit from the dealer and pocketing it themselves. Yeah, and there's states that do make this distinction, right? Like Colorado is a good state, for example. They have car buying advocates and they have brokers and they have dealerships. Not every state has it because guess what? This is a new concept. Okay, it's cool. Juliana's coming up. Hi, Juliana. What do you have your purse? Oh, okay. Oh, she's gonna go get the mail. She's gonna go get the mail. Our mailbox is not in front of our house anymore. Long-time watcher, love the content. Yeah. Oh yeah. So and the reason why it makes no sense is like Chevy Dude used the definition of being a broker, and he used the Merriam-Webster's definition of a broker, which is anybody who negotiates the contract or purchase of sale of anything. So he said that makes him a broker. But the problem is, based on that definition, anybody who negotiates anything for anybody, a mom negotiating for their daughter, a dad negotiating for their kid, would also make them a broker based on that lie. Tony, we hear delivered and we hang up. Damn it! Guys, this isn't good. Guys, this isn't good. Tony, a random TikTok account out of nowhere, if he hears delivered, he hangs up. You know what, Tony? Let's make it really easy. In front of the thousands of people that are watching right now, can you please let us know the dealership so we don't ever call you again? We'll wait. Come on, Tony. Let us know your dealership. Oh, Tony's got into catch-22. He's like, I can name the dealership. Or what I could do is name a fake dealership. If I name a fake deal, work for Honda. So you're just saying any Honda dealership I ever call was going to hang up on me? I've talked to you before, buddy. Do you want to give us your dealership name so I can test your theory? I would love to test your theory. I would love to test your theory. I'll call your dealership live right now. And the worst time ever. Guys, I just want to be super, dude, I just want to be super clear. This is why people don't like car salesmen, right? Is they talk a lot of trash and then they can't back it up, right? Right? Like in this scenario, Tony is talking. Tony is mad, as he said, I don't want to get price shopped today. So basically, a consumer is trying to get the best possible price on the second biggest purchase of their life. And to Tony, that is such a disservice to him and his expertise that he will hang up the phone if anybody tries to do that. The audacity. You with your hard-working money, on cars that have gotten exponentially more expensive over the last 5 years, if you dare try to negotiate with Tony, now here's the good news, guys. Here's the good news. When Tony hangs, this is what I love, and Tony, thank you for helping me sell my service. When Tony hangs up, right? Because he's going to do it to you too, right? He's going to hang up on you too because it's the same thing. Hangs up on you. All I do is then look at closest dealership to Tony. Hey, you know what? Mr. Tony's dealership didn't want to do this deal. I do about 70 to 80 Hondas a month, and I would love to start doing more business with you. What do you think? Okay, cool, great, awesome. Boom. Now I'm sending more competition to his competition, which is then putting Tony out of business. Then Tony is in the middle of a Tuesday that he should be working right now because there's nobody in his showroom. Is this Tommy guy is the worst. You could do this on your own. Ugh. I'm off today. Of course he's off today. Of course you're off today, Tony. I love that car sale. What's crazy? What's crazy to me is that car salesmen just haven't realized how, like, the way to stop Tommy and Delivered is not making it more difficult to buy a car. Like right now, buying a car is difficult, and the idea behind it is Tommy is fear mongering the public into thinking that dealers are not easy to work with. But then we have the Tonys of the world that come out and say, I would just hang up if you asked for a discount. I have hung up before because you asked for a discount and my time is worth more. Okay. If you guys don't know, hi, my name's Tommy. I negotiate car deals for a living. My goal is to save you time, energy, and anxiety. More importantly, my goal is to change this industry because I think it's absurd that people like Tony exist. I do. I think it's absurd in a world that we are so consumer friendly, where in a world where we have such good education on how to buy things, people like Tony still exist. That market mentality still exists. So the reason why I started Delivered isn't to forever profit off this system, is to be able to put and build a system that has checks and balances, but doesn't allow Tonys of exist to world. So if you want to know what motivates me, what gets me excited, what makes me work 10 times harder than anybody at your dealership every single day, building an empire that we're trying to build, is because I want to shut down that mentality. I think it's absurd that you work in a sales environment for people buying the second biggest purchase of your life, and you have the audacity for somebody making sure that they get a good price on that car. You're not worth my time. Then you shouldn't have a job, Tony. You're not the owner of the dealership. You're probably just a car salesman. And if you told your manager that same thing, went up to the face and said, somebody asked me for a discount and I kicked them out, I hung up because they're not worth my time, you wouldn't have a job, Tony. So stop acting like you're such big and mighty and tough, because you're not. You're hiding behind a platform rather than putting your face out there. Go make a TikTok and go do it to your boss and tell us, and I'll stand corrected. But end of day. Tony, we're done with you. Up on the dude. And this is the problem. And the beautiful thing is that we are making more and more people. Salesman here. Do you do deals in Mississippi? Yeah. Mississippi. Boom, I can spell Mississippi. And moderators, make sure you guys don't mute Tony. Let him just keep like venting in the chat, because this is what happens. And also, if you guys want to be like, hey, because I know understand there's Tonys in the world, right? There is a lot of car salesmen that believe that what I do is right, but there's also a lot of them that are like Tony, right? That I'm a scam. I'm a horrible for the market, and I'm the end of the world. On Thursday, Amy, do we have a time on Thursday? Do we have time on Thursday? I have a time. Let me figure out what time I'm gonna do this on Thursday. Amy, do we have a time? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern. We are going to have a live debate conversation. I'm gonna allow you. You just have to DM me on any platform. Doesn't even matter. We'll respond. And you have to be against me, right? And you have to tell me where you work. And the reason why you have to tell me where you work is I'm inviting you onto my live stream. I need to make sure you actually are a car salesman, not some type of troll. And we're going to verify you have some type of proof that you work at a dealership. We're not going to blast your dealership, but we need to know where you work if you're going to be on my live stream. So Costa says this dude scammed me. You want to give me specifics? Would love to know more, Costa, but like, moderators, we can watch Cal, just make sure, or Costa, Croc. To make sure that he's not actually being serious. How much does a salesperson make on a deal like yours? Depends on the car, but realistically, they make a mini $100 to $200 per deal. Okay. So if you're on Thursday, you want to come Thursday, and if you, again, we'll have thousands of people watching across platforms. I don't know how many people are watching on TikTok and YouTube right now. On YouTube, I think we have 1,800 people. I don't know how many people we have on TikTok. I don't know how many people we have on Twitch. But understand, if you're like, hey, I want to expose Tommy, right? I want to expose Tommy, and I don't have the platform, so I want to do it in front of his audience, then that's going to be your opportunity, right? You can come on my platform and expose me and have a conversation with me. And I would love, like I said, I think it's important to have the opposition on. I've yet to have anybody, I think, that's made a good point. But we're going to do that on Thursday. If you want any topic on the car buying process, direct to consumer, I believe is a better option for the consumer in today's public. I believe that car salesmen shouldn't make commission. I believe that the industry should be torn down from the bottom part. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can talk about. I believe that dealerships shouldn't be able to mark up rate. I believe they're more of a fiduciary what they are. Lots of things that we can have conversations on. Yeah, just DM me, and you don't even have to tell me the topic. I'll go unprepared. So everybody has, and I'm gonna make a TikTok on this today. You'll have 2 days to prepare for this, and I will have 0 time to prepare. Do you think, and I quote, disrespectful to shop your own dealership you work at, not to mention got a better deal at a different dealership? No, I don't think it's disrespectful. It's your money. But dealerships will. If car salesmen don't get a commission, do you think they'll make hourly or set price? I think it's salary. I think car salesmen should be a salaried position. I think it would work. I think it'd be harder. Are you pushing for new laws on dealership malpractice? We're not at the point where we can make any legal push. I would love to. And if anybody in Congress wants to make a conversation, I'm all for it. But it's going to take some serious people in Congress to make that change because NADA is so deep in people's pockets. Why buy new or from a dealership at all? I feel like private party is just better in general. I mean, plenty of reasons. If you want to buy a new car, you can't buy it from private party. Secondly, you are trusting a lot in a private party that you've never met, never talked to, don't know who they are. Better quality car normally in that world, and more protections for the consumer. How would direct to consumer affect your business model? It should eliminate it in theory. But guys, people be careful my words. I think people are blown away by the fact that, and I mean it, like my goal is not to forever profit off this industry. My goal is to fix this industry and then move on, right? Like this idea that that anybody has to fix this problem is absurd, but I'm going to fix it. Once it's fixed, I'm going to move on. Like that's the goal. Like I don't want to forever profit. Like, and this idea, and some people are like, if you just fail, then you're gonna go sell cars again. Like, nah. Like I've realized, like I have a really good ability to get in front of people and push a mission and build a company around that. Like I will fix another problem. Salespeople that get paid on commissions based on what the customer pays are inherently more immoral. I think that's a good statement to start off as a good debate statement. salesmen that get paid commissions based off what a customer pays are inherently untrustworthy, I think is a better way. I don't want to say immoral, but I would say untrustworthy. You can't ever, that might be the debate question that I would put. And if that's what you want to debate, I'm all for it. How many car sales do you close each month? Over 400. Do you miss Dave Wright? No, not at all. Do I miss it? I miss the camaraderie at a dealership sometimes. I think the camaraderie is real. I was really close with the other finance managers. Was good with salespeople. We hired one of the Dave Wright salespeople that were on our team onto Delivered. But I mean, again, one of the reasons why I left Delivered is that I felt like the dealership was the problem, and I preached that it's the problem. Tommy went from 150 to 200 to 400 overnight. McGrath, if you want to have the conversation, we went from 200 to 250 deals to 400 deals over the last 2 months. We were at 250 a month. Then last month we did 360 a month. Then this month we've done last month we did 430. The month before that we did 360. Bro left, did I say left Deliver? I meant left Dave Wright. Sorry, left Dave Wright. Could you translate your business model into real estate? Probably, but I need to research real estate more. Why not have an office with a few workers making these deals so you can bounce off ideas? Because I think the idea of needing an office to do that same concept's absurd. If you build a culture and have a really good community, like I would argue that our communication at Delivered is 10 times better than, I wouldn't say 10 times better. I would say is in the top 5% of companies nationwide in our communication level. People are blown away with the amount of conversations that are happening. We use Slack, but everybody's fully engaged with each other. We're not in unnecessary meetings. We don't have meetings all day. We are a team that has constant conversations. Oh shit, I've seen your reels. I'm glad. Yeah, you get better talent pool when you work nationwide. Check Discord live chat. Whoops. Did I do something wrong? Okay, I'm looking. Sorry, I was not on my. I even told you guys I was going to make Discord more. Discord live chat. Is this a different live chat? Is it the moderator one, which I said I'm not using anymore? Yep. Another one. Yeah. Is this another? No, we're not doing that one right now. Your mission is completed. Let's say tomorrow magically the industry's fixed overnight. What's the next industry I'd fix? I don't know. I haven't thought that far. Real estate's a big one, right? I think real estate is crazy. I think the RV market, boat market, but I don't feel like those have as big of an impact. He doesn't see super chats. I will get all of the super chats. I just haven't got to him yet. I can get to the super chat. Sorry, guys. Doing it studio pulled up. We are going to make some phone calls today, so everybody relax. We are going to make a few phone calls. But again, as I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, I do want to have a little bit more theme to stream, so they're not going to be so wild. If we do some phone calls, we're going to do some phone calls, but it's not going to be, tomorrow is a full phone call stream. It's a full phone call, start to finish, 3 hours of phone calls. How do you deal with impersonators and people using your clips? The amount of people that are clipping us is insane right now. It's a pro and a con. It's a pro because more people are learning about Delivered. It's a con. I mean, clippers are a thing. I don't love them. I wish we've tried to report them and just nobody will remove them because I don't know why. It's just, I think, an unnecessary evil that you have to deal with right now. Okay, and like I said, I'm not in love with it, but here we are. Yeah, let's go through and fan funding. Lots of donations. First off, I appreciate the donations. Nobody has to donate anything in order to get a question answered, but on YouTube, if you do, I try to do my best to get them through. Hey, Tommy, what's the market looking for like a Camry XSE 2026 $4,000 to $6,000 off MSRP, $4,000 to $6,500 off MSRP is what we've been getting. Realistically, on an XSE, I would say $5,000 or above. What is your favorite book? So I think the best business book that I've ever read, arguably one of the best books I've ever read, is $100 Million Offer by Alex Hormozi. And I don't even like where Alex Hormozi has taken his brand and his last two books. I think he's milking. I think $100 Million Offer is one of the most genius books that has ever been written on business. And I think he went downhill just trying to chase rather than just owning that he made one book. He was just trying to make additional content. That's how I feel. But $100 Million Offer is hands down. If anybody wants to start a business, they should read $100 Million Offer. Should I be asking for money off MSRP or money off the door? I mean, you could do it either way. I recommend normally MSRP and then making sure you have tax fee. It's just a simpler negotiation when you're asking it off MSRP, but then you have to double check your fees. Discounts off a Jetta GLI, like 10 to 12% off MSRP. What's the average discount on a Badlands? 10% or above. 10 to 11% would be probably what I'd be aiming for plus rebates. How much can I get off an M4? By the way, Chevy Dude made a video about you and is acting like he isn't calling you out directly. And I will say, yeah, with Chevy Dude, like if you're just gonna call me out, like use my name. Like don't be like the idea that there's 60 other people that are negotiating a car deal and that's who you're talking about, like, and you're not talking about me. It just use my name. Like I am the biggest person in this space. Like I'm not afraid to say that. There are a lot of copycats, but like, let's not be afraid to say it's about Tommy, right? And if it's not about Tommy, then you have a service clearly as your comment sections have attacked you to say, I'm not talking about Tommy. Tommy is great. Everybody else I'm referring to, because the market is big enough that like you can't, but like you clearly are talking about me. You're trying to use clout, which is whatever. I get it. I'm good for business. Best deals you've gotten on a 2024 Ranger Raptor. $4,000 off is probably the best deal we've done. But realistically, $2,000 to $4,000 off is a good idea. How much off of Mach-E? 10% plus rebates. Sequoia TRD Pro, $2,000 to $4,000 off MSRP. On a Platinum, you can probably get up to $6,000 off. On a TRD Pro, getting $2,000 off to $4,000 would be normal market. Tommy, I watch your mom. I read that wrong. Tommy, I watch you with my mom as she tries to buy herself a new CRV. Any tips on trading in a 2015 Pilot to a 2026 CRV? We're trying to get an EXL for under 36K out the door. So how you negotiate a trade is really easy. Funny enough, it's like one of the things that Chevy Dude actually said right in his video, which is Carvana, CarMax. If you want to add like ClickLane, Algo in there, you certainly can. Any online appraisal tool, Carvana, CarMax is a guarantee, but if you want to add more, you certainly can. And then you want to try to do 1 or 2 local appraisals to get an idea of what the number's worth, just to sell them the car outright. You use those as leverage. Now, you want to negotiate that separately to the car. You want to negotiate the price of the car, and then you want to negotiate the vehicle, or then you want to negotiate the trade. The reason why you separate it isn't so you can make more money. It's just because buying a car is an emotional decision, and there are 6 moving parts when you negotiate a car deal. So for the best level of success, separating those parts and negotiating one piece at a time ensures you get a great deal compared to trying to negotiating 6 things at the same time. It's like one of the things we learned here at Delivered is if I have people focus on 5 different tasks, they're going to do all 5 tasks at an okay level. But if I have them focus at one task, they're going to do phenomenal at that one task because that's all their focus. So focus all your things on one, and then once that one task is done, do another. That's why multitasking has destroyed generation. Hey, Tommy, huge fan. Seriously, thank you. Love what you see. Love checking you out. Previous donation. Yep, I did that. Thank you for the donation. Chevy Dude a dealer now. His content's changed. Yeah, he's a dealer, but he's like and we're gonna talk about. And I invite Chevy Dude to come on to the live and have a conversation. Right? If he wants to say that I'm illegal and what I'm doing is horrible for the industry, more than want to have a conversation. But I'm gonna warn you, you can't come with as much smoke as you have over the last. I will end the live very quickly if you come in this live and try to be super nice to me. Like, oh, I actually am a big fan. Like, I want you to come with the heat. Chevy Dude has made videos calling me out for like 2 years. He's just started making YouTube videos versus shorts. But yeah, his content's changed. I think general idea is my entire philosophy are dealers aren't needed. And I think that scares some people. Maybe there's some jealousy. I don't know. Like, I would love for him to answer. I would love for him to answer. But I mean, jealous is probably part of it, right? What are you seeing as a good deal on a trail sport? 10% off MSRP. Are we gonna do pre-owned deals anytime soon? Probably not. Not for a little bit. We are working on it, but realistically, we're so pent up with demand on new cars that we need to make sure we get new cars up and handled, and get the production side really there before I feel confident taking on any more additional ability. Need you to negotiate medical bills next. Not a bad I feel to be able to jump into. Is 67K a good deal on a new Ram RHO? We just did $12,000 off MSRP, so that's pretty close. Plus rebates. That's, I mean, you're right about there. Hey Tommy, what deals are you looking for on a Land Cruiser? 2 to 4 grand off, or sorry, 3 to 5 grand off. Sorry, 3 to 5 grand off. Is 35,000 for a 2025 Silverado a good deal? I don't know on the used car market. I'm not even gonna try. I appreciate the $5, but you already bought the car. What I would do is pull up Visor, go pull up some like models to see what the price is. Tips on a Loom video. Tips on your Loom video. One of the things that, so I've gone through thousands of Loom videos at this point. What I will say is a lot of people like to build up delivered. Like they'll go like this. Like I'll give you like a demo of what 60% of them are. Hey, my name's Tommy, and first off, before I get into it, I love what you're doing here. I'm super passionate. I would love to be a part of the mission. You have such an awesome company culture, and I want to be a part of that. You like what you're doing on social media has changed, and it's the first 45 seconds is just glazing us, which I appreciate the glaze, but realistically, we want you to sell yourself, right? You telling us we're great. I know we're great. But like, and you can add that to the end if you really want, but really you want to sell me on why you would be impactful to the team. So one of the things that we look for heavily is culture, right? We have a really great culture. We have a really good team dynamic. So showing that you can work in a team dynamic and be able to display that is extremely important. Humility is extremely important. Confidence is extremely important. Knowing what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are and not being afraid to admit those, right? Like one thing that I'm really good at is the social media stuff. I'm really good at negotiating car deals. Something that I'm not as strong with would be, long-term people development isn't my expertise. That's one of the reasons why I'm a founder. This is a lot of founders' issues. You look at some of the greatest founders in the world. They're not always the process and people. They're more big ideas. So a lot of the big ideas that we've had for Delivered have been built. One of the smartest things I've ever done was bringing my brother in for him to help build the processes and build the people skills that made us have one of the best cultures that we have today. I'd say that. Does that make sense? Is that a lot of words? Okay, boom. What kind of deals are you seeing on Ioniq 9? 2 to 4 grand off MSRP. $10 Canadian. Tommy, coming to Canada. We're gonna come to Canada. It's one of our next moves. Once we can handle the demand. We've done the testing for it. Feel confident with it. I'm ordering a Traverse High Country. Should I expect to pay MSRP? We just did a Traverse and got 4 or 5 grand off. You can get it even on an order. What is the cheapest Tacoma lease with $0 down? Again, this is one of the reasons why we're not a broker. I don't have a dealer that has given me a lease deal on what this done. I don't have an answer for you. We'd have to go do the market research and check. Realistically, we've negotiated 5 to 7 grand off Tacomas before you can get the same thing. But what the lease deal is, I don't have one in my back pocket. Hey Tommy, have you ever done a deal on an X5M? Yes, 13% off MSRP. Any deals on a gas-powered Dodge Charger? Yeah, how much money do you want off? Okay, guys, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick, and then we'll answer a few more questions, and maybe we'll make some phone calls. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Did he mention anything about the Frontier Pro 4X? What, 10% off MSRP? I'm sure trying to get a huge bed. Ryan, I'm calling all over the country today, and everyone is Cody. He's getting roasted. Why does it take so long to buy a car? Oh, I gotta look at the new programs as well. We gotta look at those. Did I watch this video? I just got to send this video on why it takes so long to buy a car. Should we watch it? Does that seem something that would be? It's a short form video. Yes, sure. Yes, yes. Let me get it in the. Questions. Okay, let's go and see what this video is about. We'll watch this video real quick and we'll answer a few questions and make some calls. Where did my suggestions go? I literally put it in our. It's funny. Also, we have a Discord channel if you guys want to be involved with the discussions, have conversations, be involved. Where the heck did at Tommy tag myself? Where did this video? Am I dumb? Sometimes Discord frustrates me because I don't know where server. Am I just not in this channel? Okay, whatever. I'm putting it in general. Why is like nothing exist? I need to get better at Discord because sometimes I look at things, I'm like, where is my just general? Live alerts. I'll post this here. Post. Live alerts. I'm looking at live alerts right now. Okay, let's go. Let's watch this video. It took long enough. Okay, let's go. And how do I turn on volume? Oops, I didn't let me to like it. I hate when I like a video.
All right, guys, why does buying a car from a dealership take so long? Well, let me tell you, I'm a car sales manager, and 75% of the time, it's you guys. You guys spend 4 hours on the lot test driving every single car, which is fine. 4 hours on the lot. Then you sit down with my sales rep, and you're like, all right, you have 5 minutes to get me in and out, or I'm walking. So now we're rushing, we're panicking, but just for you guys to complain that the whole process took 4 hours, but you were test driving cars for 4 hours, that wasn't our fault. And then, on top of that, most people, they'll try to withhold information, like your trade payoff. It's like, what am I gonna do with that? What? It's just harming you, because now we have to rework the numbers with the trade included. Now we have to add the payoff, and now your payments are up, so now you're upset because we had to show it without the payoff because you wouldn't give it to us. So it's just like, you know, it could be a lot easier if you guys knew how to communicate. You know, it's just like a relationship, communicate. Why does buying a...
Okay, so I'm gonna just read some of the comments to see the comments. Every time I bought a car, I spent double the time negotiating and signing paperwork than I did test driving and selecting a car. That's the #1 comment. What do you mean rework the numbers when you skew the numbers in your favor? When I agreed upon your numbers to take over an hour to get a paperwork, waste of time's everybody's money. There's a lot of pieces here. So let me just debunk this entire argument. First off, when people are complaining that buying a car takes so long, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. There's 2 parts of buying a car. What I describe, we've done a lot of research on this, and this is how consumers think. And even if it's not how they think externally, it's how they internally think. They think of shopping for a car and buying a car. Now, shopping a car is going to be the test drive experience. That's looking at the vehicle. That is going through vehicle by vehicle by vehicle. This is actually the part that most people enjoy. If there's anything that car buying people enjoy, they actually enjoy the actual shopping of a car. They like the idea of sitting in a car, looking, imagining their life in it. There's a reason why car review channels do so well. It's because people like the idea of envisioning. It is the buying process, the actual negotiating the part of the process that people do not like. And that is the part that takes so long. Now, I will tell you that I've sold cars for a long time. The idea that people are taking 4 hours to test drive a car just isn't true. And if that is true, as a sales manager, that's more on you. And this is one of the biggest problems we have in this industry. Is people cannot just take responsibility and be like, I don't even care if it's 90% the customer's fault. How do I fix the problem internally? But like one of the things that you're trained as a sales manager and a salesperson is to do a proper needs assessment. When you do a proper needs assessment, you can actually help somebody pick a car more effectively. If you are a sales manager, as you're saying you are, your job is to train your team to do a proper needs assessment. Again, it's just car sales. This isn't even what I would believe. But if you're a car sales manager, it is to train them to be able to pick the proper vehicle so you remove 40 test drives to 1. Because when you don't do a proper needs and you just say, oh, let me go grab the keys, and you show them 19 vehicles, they could go on test drives forever. But that's not even the majority of people. Most people don't want to drive 10 different vehicles. They want to drive, and on top of it, the route you're taking is a pre-approved route from the dealership. Dealerships approve a route that is the safest route for you to drive without an accident, right? This is part of the problem. Now, part of the problem that we run it now, again, this is somebody who doesn't know the car, but the problem is I could walk into a dealership and say, I want a Toyota RAV4. I've done my research and call it a day. The salesperson is trained to say, well, first thing I've got to do is welcome you to my dealership. So thank you for Dave Wright, where we make dreams a reality. Let's go to my office. Let's go to my desk real quick and let me go do a needs assessment. Well, no, I want the RAV4. I've already done the research. I've done all this. Well, let's go sit on my desk. Okay, sit down. Okay, cool. I need your driver's license. Okay, cool. Now I need your insurance. Okay, cool. So tell me, anyway, why are you coming in today? Driving a RAV4. Okay. And are you looking at anything other than the RAV4? Well, just the RAV4. It's the only one I want. Okay. Do you have a trade? Yeah, I have a trade, but I'd like to make sure I like the RAV4 first. Well, can I get the VIN miles and can I go look at your trade real quick? I just want to drive it. And once I know I want it, then I'll go through that process. But okay. Are you financing or leasing? I don't know if I want the car. I'd like to drive it first. Well, okay. Where do you work? I don't understand why that's relevant for me to buy the car, but I work at Stanley. Oh, interesting. What do you hope? My brother works at Stanley. Isn't that crazy? What do you do at Stanley? I'm a contractor. Okay, cool. And how much money do you make? Well, that's a personal question, but like 80 grand a year. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being worst, 10 being the best, what would you consider your credit? I don't know, like a 7. Okay. And are you putting cash down? I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to buy the car yet. I like my car. I just want to see. Okay. But like if you were going to buy the car, how much cash? Okay. So 7 to 10 grand. And what kind of payments would you be comfortable with? I mean, we make good money. I could probably pay anything. $500, $600 a month. Well, if you're buying the RAV4, realistically, you might be higher than that. I would expect like 800, but we'll get to that part later. Would you be open to leasing if it made sense? I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to buy the car or yet not. I don't know. Like I haven't got that far. Okay. And are you the only decision maker? Is there anybody else that's involved that's going to be helping with the decision? Well, there's no decision to make. I just need to drive the car to make sure I enjoy it first. Okay. And have you ever been at any other dealerships today? No, just this one because I'm looking at the RAV4. And you're the closest Toyota dealership to me. Really? What's your address? You have my driver's license. You can just look. Oh, some people have different addresses. You wouldn't understand. Well, I think. Oh, also, I understand you're looking for a RAV4. What would be, you know what? You've probably never been asked this question before. What's a color you wouldn't take on the RAV4? Now, they ask you this question because when you say you would and you don't have a white one, you're screwed. But when you wouldn't, well, I wouldn't take a red one, but I prefer a white one. What about interior color? And like a black one, please. Okay, cool. And is there any must-have features that the car must have? 4 wheels. Steering wheel. I mean, it must have heated seats. Ah, yes, that would be the 1 second. Let me. Heated seats. Do you want the one with self-driving? I don't really care about that. Okay. Interesting. That would be an unlimited. Okay, cool. I just like to drive to make sure I enjoy the experience, but a limited's fine. We don't have any limiteds. We don't have any RAV4s in the lot at all. They all sold out last week. But I have a used one I can show you. The car just got redesigned. What are you talking about? Don't worry, it's gonna drive. You're gonna love it. And you know what? I have a 4Runner too. Oh, but then when you go get the car, right? Like, then it depends on who you are, right? Like, this is so disingenuous. Want you to fall in love with a new car. They don't put a wallet for that. It's not putting up a wallet. It's doing a needs assessment. Now here we go. Now. Pull this bad boy up. This is the RAV4 you're looking at now. I don't know if you know a lot about the RAV4. I actually know a lot about the RAV4. I don't know the research. So let me do a walk around for you. Now this is the hood. 1.5 liter, 186 horsepower hybrid motor behind this thing. I really don't care about the power of the car. It's a economy car. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the braking system on this car is 17 times better than Honda's because it uses Toyota technology. Oh, that's neat. Cool. Can we just drive it? And we keep going. And now you do this whole walk around, right? Because you're trained to do that. And you go through the full walk around, and then you go inside, and then you do that. And now we're going to go on this test drive experience. Now, when we go through this test drive experience, I'm going to curate and tell you the exact test drive you're going to go on. Now, you're going to make a right here, and then you're going to make another right. Then you're going to make another right. Then you're going to make another right. That right route should take you anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes. When we get back here, I'm going to ask you this question, and it's going to be like, so, what did you think of the car? That's not the question you're going to ask, because that would be absurd. You're going to say, so, obviously you love the car. If I can make the car affordable, would you take it home today? It's called a trigger question. You're supposed to trigger it because you're going to get a yes, right? If I can make the car affordable, take it home today. Because when they say yes to that question, you can pocket that information, right? Boom, pocket that. And then when you take them the numbers, you have permission to take them the numbers. And when they're like, I'm not going to buy the car today, you can be, whoa, Mr. Customer. Remember when I was in the car and I used that trigger word and pulled it out? I said if you can make the car affordable today, you'd buy it. So the real answer is it's not affordable, is it? So what's affordable? Like that, and there's like this whole, it's a 10-step sales process, which is designed to optimize you by, again, the sales process is designed around convincing somebody to buy a car, not what's most convenient for the customer. Now imagine I had an option like this. Let's just say that I'm dealership Tommy, and I say, you know what? Actually, we actually have an entire process for people who know exactly what they want. We call it the express lane. You can literally buy the car. Dude, just imagine if I'm a dealership and selling this. I'm gonna give dealerships the tools here. You know what? You're probably the type of person that knows you want the RAV4. You probably just need to drive it, make sure it looks right. Right? Awesome, great, awesome. So here's the keys. You can actually drive this on your own. You actually don't even need a salesperson for this. Drive it around the block. We do that. Make sure you like it. If you do, we actually do everything online, right? So if you know exactly what you want, you don't need the time, you don't need to go through all this. We have an express lane. You can buy the car in 10 clicks. It's actually cheaper to do it that way. You pay a premium to work with me because you get the expertise of everything I know. But a lot of people, they've done their own research. They know exactly what they are. So we have an entire express lane designed for you. I'll give you the keys. I'll let you drive the vehicle, see how that goes. As long as you're happy with the car, everything makes sense. Go through. I'll show you how to do it online if you need to. Otherwise, it is like, honestly, my grandma did it last week. She did it in 10 clicks. You don't have to deal with anybody, none of the back and forth. It's a game. It's one set price that is cheaper than what it is to actually deal with people. When you add people to the mess, it's more expensive, right? But you get my expertise, which is valuable. Now, if you want that expertise, you pay a little bit more. If you want to deal with it on your own, which experience do you prefer? Now, some people, all of a sudden, are going to be like, actually, I don't know what car I want. And I don't know if I went the RAV4. And now I know it's going to cost me more money to go that route. And I'm fine with that because I'm making that active decision. But there's other people that are like, hey, I don't. And now you've split your audience in a way. And again, what I love about this is that because dealers will be like, well, no, this option should be more expensive. Why would it be more expensive? Why would it be more expensive for you to have no staff, no team, nobody to work on that car deal? And all you have to do is have somebody click in 10 clicks and you sell something. Imagine, I mean, it's the same thing as like Amazon. Imagine you could buy Amazon, if Amazon could sell you something without ever talking to somebody versus having to pay a sales rep. And again, as a salesperson, now you're selling something, right? Now the idea behind it is I'm going to sell the reason why somebody should work with me. Somebody should pay more. Like, and again, it's what I have to sell every day. You could do this on your own, but you should pay me because the time, energy, and anxiety it takes to buy a car is absurd. But so we're still talking about this video. Holy moly. Second thing, when people withhold the trade information, I'm sorry, but we need to just be honest. If I tell you I owe $10,000 on my trade as a desking manager, that number comes into play when giving you a value for your trade. Does it make the 100% of the impact? No, I never said that, but it does come into impact. And it can go both ways. If I'm going to give you $9,000 for your trade, there's a world that maybe I over allow on your trade to give you $10K and charge a little extra somewhere else in order to make that money off. If I'm going through and the car is worth $8,000 and you're asking for $6,000 for it, there might be a world where I under allow because what your expectations is versus the allowance versus what the car is. That number absolutely comes into effect. And for you saying it changes everything, it doesn't change everything. It just changes your payment. And you can go through and explain that to people right off the bat. It's not hard. Okay, you're spamming, dude. Guys, do not message that person the word. Where are my moderators? Do I not have a moderator? Does that actually work? Has anybody ever fallen for that? Has anybody ever fallen for that? Nope, hope not. Nope, mommy, Tommy. One of the 7K. But here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? Is, again, this is not me, this is statistics. 70% of people are reported to not enjoy the car buying experience. Car salesmen are trusted. 7% of people trust car salesmen. It is less than Congress, less than telemarketers. If you, as an industry, the car industry cannot acknowledge that, you will never get better. And the idea that you blame consumers when the vast majority has been trained not to trust you, you have to earn that trust back. Like, you have to earn that trust. And the idea behind it is you should be doing everything you can to be as transparent as humanly possible, and not putting almost any blame on the consumer at all. The second you start blaming the consumer for the problems that are happening in the industry, you are the one that's a problem. Because you know what? Frankly, Tesla doesn't have a problem. Like Tesla, Rivian, I can buy a car in 10 clicks and I have yet to see anybody complain that buying a car at Tesla takes too long. So why could Tesla figure it out, but you can't? Oh, it's because the Tesla experience would cost you money, because instead of being able to convince people to spend more, the entire dealership model is predicated on convincing people to spend more for the same product. And it's one of the only industries that still exists to that today. Salespeople, I love good salespeople. Good salespeople invigorate me in such an exciting way. But good salespeople, in my opinion, convince people to buy a product, not convince people to spend more for that same product. I think in 2026, it is more unethical than it is not to have a business model predicated for buying, again, a service you could even argue is a little bit different, but I wouldn't. Some people would make the argument, but for the same product, I think it's absurd that two people with the same credit, same situation, can buy the same car on the exact same day and pay thousands of dollars apart. again, we're not talking about, I want to be super clear because people like to throw, everybody likes to throw this argument out, right? They'll say, well, furniture and jewelry make a lot of money as well. Few differences here. We're not talking about the profit margin, right? Like I don't care if a dealership makes $100,000 per car. That's not the point. The point is the amount they're charging to the end user. Because I'm going to blow your mind. And I understand every car salesman doesn't believe me. I've done more market research than I would argue anybody in the world. I did it for free for 10 months myself, asking consumers, having conversations, negotiating their deals, and then paying them third-party surveys so I could get this information. Consumers care about what they are spending. They don't care about your profit. No business, no consumer care. Nobody goes to Lululemon. Nobody goes to Stanley, right? And says, Stanley is making $32 per mug. That's too much money. I'm not buying it. What they will do is, this Stanley is $40. Do I see value of $40 in this? Yeah, I'll buy it. Boom. That is how consumers' minds work. That is how every time. This DJI. I don't know how much it costs DJI to make this. This iPhone, I've got 2 of them. I think it costs Apple a few $100 to make this. I'm happily willing to pay it because the product works every single time. I don't think as a consumer, is this worth the $700 of profit they're making? I say, is this product worth $1,100? For me, it is. And a good salesperson should be, this is $1,100 and we have competition. I should probably turn the first screen. Let me tell you why you should buy this product. And now it's a yes or no conversation. The thing is that sales, if you want to have a real conversation, car salespeople, some people argue that car salespeople are some of the best salespeople in the world. I would disagree entirely because you are able to rely on a crutch that almost no other salesperson is able to rely on, which is price. When you can't add enough value in what you're selling, you get to pivot to, let me just make it cheaper. Let me just make it cheaper. That does not make a good salesperson. That is not. I'm sorry, it doesn't. If you can convince somebody to pay full price for the product because you are worth the value, then that's different, right? And now every person is paying $1,000 for the service, and you have to convince people to do that. I saw your wallpaper. Yeah, it's Juliana. Juliana. I said what I said. I said what I said. Stop calling me Push Pop. I don't know who's Push Pop. So you cap straight up? I don't know that. What? As a consumer, what's a good question to ask a car salesperson? What's the price? Can we mute early? I don't know who early JK is. Is early JK doing anything wrong? You can't just bribe somebody to mute them. Are they a valuable member to the delivered community? Push Pop is claiming they make $300K per year. Okay, cool. Like, are you trying to like flex on people that you make $300K per year? Is like that what you're trying to do? Like, I don't know what your accomplishment. I just don't know, like, it's a weird flex. Like, I appreciate you making. I just want to know what his point is. Does he have a point on? Do physically attractive people get better deals without trying? No, not at all. On the contrary, women get taken advantage of more than men. I mean, we just saw that TikTok just recently of that woman that that got hit on, and when she wouldn't give the guy her number, she got a higher price. Guys, I appreciate the guy saying he makes $300K. That's great, but like, why are you flexing on random people? Like, you know nobody in this chat. You will never probably meet anybody outside this. I'm reporting every account that calls me Push Pop. Okay, I think he's just a troll. Um, he said if you don't make 200K and up, you don't belong in this channel. That's insane. So guys, just so you guys know, for my service, I advertise it as a time, energy, and anxiety saving service. I say if you value your money more than you do your time, then my service doesn't make sense. But if time is more valuable than money, my service does make sense. So for this channel is for everybody that wants to learn how to buy a car, wants to be involved in the movement. One thing that is actually really upsetting, if that's actually what Push Up is saying, is we are trying to change a multi-trillion-dollar industry. We are going to need every single person that is willing to watch this content, support this content, and be here, regardless if you make $20,000 a year or $10 million a year, right? Like this is like, we need more and more people. Can we just mute Push? If that's what he's saying, mods, you can mute him. I don't want that kind of negative mentality in our chat. Why is the FTC not forcing dealers? Because dealership FTC cannot enforce. They can't actually change anything, right? They've made it so they can't even technically enforce anything. They are allowed to bring things up and give warning letters. How much do car salesmen make per deal? I mean, it's such a loaded question. Every dealer is different. The average, like when I sold cars, I made about $500 per car. I did sell cars earlier until like 2018. Markets changed a little bit, but a general car salesman per car is making anywhere between 400 to 600 per car they sell. Like general rule, right? General average, right? But there's some that they make $1,000 on. There's some they make $100 on. They make more $100 deals than they do $1,000 deal. You think AI removes salespeople in our business? No, I don't think so. I think AI is not good enough with people. And we've seen it. There's a reason why. Like if you look at the amount of companies like Amazon, Microsoft that are backtracking the idea, even Anthropic and ChatGPT have come back and said that, like they originally said that AI was going to replace 80% of the workforce, and now they're backing down that number tremendously because AI has its limits, right? And AI is a phenomenal tool. As I've said it a million times, a drill is not going to replace a contractor, but a drill makes somebody work 10 times faster than somebody with a screwdriver, right? It's the same thing with AI. AI can make you work faster, more efficiently, but by itself, it is an untrusted tool that won't do much and will normally get you in more trouble than it's worth. But we use AI like crazy, right? But that doesn't mean that we're using it to talk to people. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. AI is not required to get it right. You have to audit it 100%. My last 2 vehicle purchases the past 9 months took 10 minutes by phone and 2 emails back and forth. It's great. Do you think Benz and Bowtie's pay model is better? I don't know what exactly his payment model is. I thought he was paying a salary. I remember when Jared left, he was paying a salary. But it ended up, I think it was a salary based on the amount of cars you sold. And it ended up, it makes more sense for the dealership. Like the people that got really mad that Benz and Bowtie, the people that left Ben's dealer, I'm not afraid to say this because they're not my employees. They all left because they were like under 10 car salespeople, right? Like the people that were left were making a lot of gross per deal, but they were only selling 10 cars. If you're in the car industry, you probably know somebody that's making $120,000, $140,000 a year. They sell 12 cars a month. They don't have to work too hard. And they're able to gross people because they're able to convince people to pay more money. But they don't really work too hard because they're happy with that money. Their payment model changed that it was per car. So, and there was no negotiation. So it ended up being that you had to sell 20 plus cars to make it make sense. Zoom out the camera. No, bruv. Now I must misdone my camera. Do car salesmen actually sell cars or push paper? It depends on the car salesman. But general rule of thumb is some sell. Could you negotiate right now for an M4? I mean, I can negotiate an M4, yeah. How much do you charge for $1,000? How do you feel about Carvana? You overpay for a used car, you get lesser quality, but you don't have to deal with negotiations. Toyota needs some better APRs. Yeah, I heard the Toyota APRs were rough. If you wanted to flex on a used car budget, what would you buy? I don't know. Go buy a Toyota Corolla. Because if you have to flex on anything, buy something reliable and stack bread. I had my consult with Shannon. She was awesome. That's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. I mean, that's my general advice is have you seen the new lot law video? Is there another new one? No. Is there a third new one or is it a fourth new one? The guy's made like 4 videos. I mean, I don't know. When is your $1,000 rate going up? Never. Never say never. Probably. Like not anytime, anywhere near in the next few years. The amount of demand we have and we haven't raised it is okay. Is it okay to buy a $50,000 or $60,000 car at 18? I don't think so. But I mean, it's your money, your life. But I mean, if I'm giving advice to somebody who is like that I'm close to, I would tell them not to buy a car or not to buy a $60,000 car. But it's your money. You can do what you want. But financially, it's a horrible decision. And I've talked to people, like I've done consults with people like that want to buy a Mustang and they can only afford a 6-cylinder. And I think it's on the horror. I think it's one of the problems with a lot of high schoolers and early college people buy the most expensive, buy the cheapest sports car they can, like a V6 Mustang or a BMW 3 Series because they want an M3. But then what ends up happening is they buy these cars, they depreciate like crazy, and in 2 years you try to buy the car you actually wanted. The better idea is to buy a car that doesn't depreciate, save your money, and end up buying something that actually makes sense. Like I will tell you, I loved my Neon to death, but it was a $500 car that I'm having, and then then I traded in a few cars, but like I wouldn't advise any if I would have spent $30,000 on a Mustang gas 6-cylinder automatic. Weird. Have you have experience with Park Place? Sure. I mean, what's my experience been? I mean, they're fine. How much on average, do people save on your car deals? $6,000 is our average savings currently. That's everything all in. Price of car, trade, add-ons, all the fun stuff. $6,000. But I'll be clear, anybody could save money on a car deal if they just put the time and energy in. Alyssa, do we think we'll have a video? People are asking for the Chevy Dude video. I think that's going to be Friday. So, well, how do we go from 16 to 13? That makes no sense. Dealership is slippery, their GM, blah, 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 blah. No. What is the technical difficulties? Even if there is technical difficulties, what are the okay, we'll talk about it offline. I don't want to push that video back any farther than Friday. It's Tuesday. Tommy eats hot dogs for their shape. Did the Wall Street Journal and CNBC interviews bring more customers? 1,000%. They kept us very busy. How do you pay your workers? We pay them salary. So everybody that starts at a base level here. So basically we have our starting positions are going to be anybody who's working in a lane. It's what 90% of people start at. That's going to be $72K a year. And then what we do is we allow people to build their own role. So and Slashley is a really good example, right? Slashley was my EA. One of the things that we said is, okay, what do you want to do here at Delivered? What do you want to do? And after a few months, she wanted to be our operations person. She wanted to handle all the operations, do that. So we built a game plan. She asked she also said how much money she wants to make, right? That's the other question we asked. How much money do you want to make, right? And everybody's number is different, right? Some people say, I'll be happy with 120 grand. I don't say this is what the position is going to pay. I ask you how much money you want to make. And, you know, somebody might say 500K. Somebody might say 120K. We then build the role around what it would take for you to earn that salary. And that's the entire idea, right? So she'll actually put a number in head. She's now working towards that. She's now our operations lead. She now runs that. She went from EA to operations lead, got $30,000+ in raises in her first year. She'll get more as she keeps going, but she's building towards being that role. And she's awesome. She's great. But everybody here at Delivered that starts at Delivered, part of their personal development is to build their own role here at Delivered. And again, when it feels whatever you want to make, we have somebody that started that says, I want to make $500,000 a year. Great. Awesome. That is awesome. And we're not like, that's unrealistic. We can't pay you 500 grand. That's not what we're going to do. Like realistically, if I can get an employee that's worth, or a team member that's worth $500,000 and they give me $500,000 of work, by all means, I love it. But now I'm giving you a game plan. This is what it would look like for you to earn 500,000. Okay. I don't like that plan. That's a lot of work. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Then what real, and now we actually go through and you actually get to see in life what it would take for us to work there and what makes the most sense. But I would say almost everybody's been wanting to. I think the person that did say 500,000, I think they ended up lowering their number because the amount of work it was going to take was going to be insane. But 500,000 is a lot of money. Do you allow part-time? No. We just have too many moving pieces. Explain how the effort. Wait, one second. Explain. I'm trying to. I just lost its comment. Shoot. No. Explain how the effort in buying a car is less than the effort to register an LLC and start a dealer at to buy at MMR. So you're saying I wouldn't know the experience of what it would be to register as a dealer, but to start an LLC is super easy depending on your state. Like getting an LLC is easy. Getting your dealer's license and going through, from the research I've done, is not entirely. It's not the most difficult thing in the world. I mean, I wouldn't say it's more difficult than buying a car. I don't know where you're going with it there. I don't know what your point is, but I would say like registering an LLC is easy. Getting your dealer's license is relatively easy. To buy at auction, yeah. Would a full-time college student work? I mean, probably not. We do like you to have some experience. You don't need 10 million to start a dealership, though. That's not true either. My house smells like carnitas. Why does the live video look nicer than the uploads? Well, we have a new camera now, so we're now dealing with this new camera. So that should help. What is your opinion versus Pilot versus the Crown Signia? I love the Crown Signia. It's one of the best cars in the market, but it's a whole different segment. The Pilot is more of a boring SUV, a little bit bigger. The Crown Signia, I think, would feel more like a Lexus. Can I hire you to find me a Urus? We're not doing used cars right now, but when we do. Do you need an artist for logo and designs? We're definitely going to start doing, I think we're going to do a little bit of merch. I've so debated this. It's been such a hotly requested thing. Let me just ask the stream right now. I think we have a few thousand people in here. Do you guys want some merch? Not this merch. This isn't merch. This is employee wear. This is what employees wear. But like, I'm talking about like a bada boom, bada bing, like it, love it, want more of it, like a hoodie or something. Just yes or no. Yes or no. Please say once. Don't spam it, please, so I can get an idea. A jacket. We got no. Raven, you've said it like 7 times. We get it. You say no. It feels to me it's like 60-40. But maybe that's like what merch is, right? I guess if 60% of your audience wants merch, if 60% of your audience wants merch, that's probably a market, I imagine, because like not everybody's gonna buy your hoodie. Yeah, we're gonna hire an actual artist. Like I'm not, like, one thing I'm not doing is just putting a delivered hat, even though we are going to be giving these out to some people. But that's not going to be something I think we charge. I want 20% off. Merch is a pain to keep up. I think if we're going to do it, all I would want to, and this would just be for really me, maybe I just do my own and just cover the F off, but I just think people would want it, is I would want I just want a limited drop. I'd have one design, there'd be 250 options, and once it's gone, it's gone, and it never sells ever again. I like the limited drops. I've always liked limited drops. Then maybe once a year we do a limited drop, 250 pieces. Only if you make push pop was here. Limited drop is just a money grab. Do you think so? From what I've learned, I'm gonna make almost no money on any merch drop. Like doing a limited drop, it actually cost me more money than doing a like consistent. That's what I've seen. Sounds like Beanie Babies. Guys, we're not inflating the price. We're not inflating the price. The Supreme limited drop, I don't think would be a Supreme. So it's exactly that. 60% said yes, 40% said no. It's right there. Are you in need of an editor? I use DaVinci Resolve. I mean, okay, that's cool. We're always looking for more editors, but like I don't think we need. Chrome. Boom. We have, I don't know if we're gonna make calls today. I think we're gonna just do all calls tomorrow, guys. I think that's gonna be the answer because I gotta go figure out dinner. By dinner, we have dinner slow cooking and the thing, so I gotta do that. That might be my plan for the day. Let me see. Boom. Okay. Let's do this, guys. I'm gonna jump off for now. I might come back on a little bit later. We'll see, but I'm gonna jump off. I've got a few things I gotta deal with, and tomorrow we stream all calls, no talking, no yapping, just calls. But we got what we needed. I've got to figure out a few things, but we will talk here soon. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm sorry, guys. Bye-bye.